Hello, welcome to my channel. Before I do anything, I must give praises to the Most High. And my topic is part two of people have identity crisis that don't know who they are. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I have talked to a lot of Latinos, and some of them tell me things, that people don't want to hear. Um, Let me see. The time now is 4:09 p.m. Monday, 28th. Now, getting back what I'm saying, people have a sure net for stealing other people's identity. And like I said before, like the natives of Puerto Rico, um, they wasn't Taínos. I don't know who got where that word came from. The original word for the Taíno people is Taino. That was an all man tribe. So when females be saying they Taino, how could you be a Taino when that's a man's tribe? Women had their own thing, tribe. I'm gonna find out who they were before I say anything. I like to be accurate. I don't like to try to give false things like some people believe. Now, even though I know a lot of some Latinos don't get along with other ones, like Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, y'all all related because at that time, a person in America is the same as you. He just don't speak Spanish. Like when you see a black person that can look just like a Puerto Rican or Dominican or even a Mexican, that because he's a mixed person, they are mulatto, and that's what some like Puerto Rico. It's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to bust people, but I'm just putting the truth out there. Puerto Rican is a mixed person. You know how many people I talk to say who came to them islands, and when you see a person in your family that look like an Indian, you looking at an East Indian person because they came there too. So that's why y'all got that in y'all too. And I even seen a documentary, and they all those Indians got wiped out. And I'm trying to set the record straight. Some of y'all probably could have native in y'all, but um, that tribe got wiped out. Like if a person say, I even hear people say I got 1% Indian, that means you had an Indian in your family, but that's that's nothing. Like a person will tell you, oh, that's just 1%. That's nothing. So everybody now claiming to be Indian because they think they're gonna get some money, and they said that in the Bible, people gonna steal people identity. Other nation gonna rise up against other ones, and that's what people do, and it's not right and stuff like that. They call that used to be called Port Riches because Spaniards came looking for gold. They never made it to where the gold was really at. The gold was in California and places like that. And even though I know some people don't like Asian people, they the ones found gold when they came here to the United States because they worked on a railroad track. And people, I know what I'm saying is the truth, but some people are not gonna believe that. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but at one time I used to speak Spanish fluently, but as the years went by, at 74, that's when I speak. Look what year it is now. My mother spoke her native language fluently. My mother was Shoshone and she spoke Korean. That's what her father was. But what I'm saying is bad when people do that, and a lot of people know that some tribes are extinct, so they're gonna take on an extinct tribe. It's like people be saying that they was here first. I'm not trying to bust people's bubble, but if y'all was here first, how come in all 50 states the people still look the same? And yeah, everybody come from some place, but like I said before, natives was always here. And there's over 50. I think my grandmother told me, not my grandmother, my cousin told me there's over 50,000 dialects that natives speak. How come none of these people that's claiming that don't speak the dialect? And some of the languages still here. Some natives still speak their language and stuff like that. I speak some, but not like my mother. That's why I got to speak it, and stuff like that. And some people look at me and say, "Oh, you too dark to be an Indian." I said, y'all been watching too many John Wayne movies. This is the way I talk and the way I look. Like I said before, I'm not lying or trying to hurt people's feelings, but a lot of people, even a poor lady I know in New York, she had her DNA done, and she didn't have no drop of Indian blood in her. They said that's what I said she was. She was a mixed person. They said she was European and African descent. They brought slaves to Puerto Rico, slaves to Cuba, Dominican Republic. A lot of y'all don't want to be associated with African Americans because they give African American a bad rep. They always try to portray them as the evil one and do all this stuff. And that's not even true. You have great African American people, like you have great Native Americans. Natives. I don't like to say Native American because the country was named after an Italian, so I'm not Italian. So I go by my indigenous. You're an indigenous person. Anybody can say they're indigenous, but where they come from. And I'm not going to hate nobody. That's God's job. I just try to tell my son to stay away from people like that. Cause like when you keep saying something bad about other people, you mocking God. No matter how you sugarcoat it, that's what you're doing. And I used to watch this program stuff like that because when they used to rape those African ladies, and nobody gonna tell them they didn't when them Europeans came there. That's why, like some Latinos do practice their African roots. When they had the Puerto Rican parade in Manhattan, you see them dress up in African clothes. That's part of their this ancestors too. But some people don't want to having to do with African American people because they made it look like they was bad, evil, wicked people. And that's not true either. Just like a Native American culture, they'll portray an Indian as a bloodthirsty savage. But a real savage, the one that came in and did what they did and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to say. And when you say I corrected my friend, he's from Ecuador. They were saying they were Spanish. I said, you speak Spanish. You're not Spanish. You're Spanish speaking. And only you could say you're Spanish if you was born in Spain. That's the motherland of the real Spanish. And so like most all other Latino countries, their language is broken. I mean, you can't help that and stuff like that. And there's like a black person, like I said before, he can look just like a Puerto Rican because he the same as you. He just don't speak Spanish. He's a mixed person. I mean, you can't help what was done to you, but that's the truth. Like Native Americans go back thousands of years, they found artifacts. Like when I met this Native lady at the museum here, she travels around. She's Cherokee, and she said she'd been to Germany. She said she saw Native American artifacts in their museum. I said she wondered how it got there because they stole it and took it there. You know, and that's why when people say things like that, everybody trying to race natives out of the culture, and everybody trying to claim them, and you can't fight when it's like a lot of people, all these different people come to this country and claim to be something because they think that they'll get some money out of it and stuff like that. I don't want anything like that. I'm just out here trying to spread the truth. Like this is part two of my topic I was talking about the other day of stolen identities and people don't know where they are, who they are, or where they're going. Some people don't want to know. They want to be stuck in Twilight Zone. And I'm trying to tell people these things because it's true. And other people probably won't agree with me. And I think Latino people have a rich, beautiful culture. And people, oh, you hate people? No, I don't. I like Spanish food. When I lived in Brooklyn, they had a Latino community. They had all the restaurants sat next to one another. They had a Puerto Rican restaurant, Cuban, Mexican, Peruvian, Ecuador, all of them. And I tasted all the food. All the food was good, but those hot tamales really got to me. I can't eat hot stuff, spicy stuff. So I'm just here to spread, the truth. That's the word, Thai no. That's the original word for those natives there. And yeah, some people probably got native in them, but you don't know how much unless you get your blood. That some people don't believe in DNA, but DNA do help prove who you are too. Because How you think, like I said before, mother, how you think they catch murderers? Because it's DNA and stuff like that, and people, should really look into stuff like that. What I'm saying, I'm not trying to bust people's bubble. I'm just trying to be correct. You know, trying to keep it real. Some people don't keep it real, and some people it's false prophet. Like natives say, people speak with forked tongue. Anybody speak with a forked tongue. You don't got to be a European descent. People. My mother said, like, if you hear a person conversation, the first 15 minutes of his conversation, you can know if he's about bull or if he's telling the truth. That's why I would tell my son, when you do something in life, you have to respect everything that was given to us, by the Creator. Some people don't respect nothing. They don't respect the earth. People spit and urinate on the ground. I can see people sick and you can't help it. Some people that's nasty. They don't care. Back then, when natives had the land, there wasn't no bacteria, nothing in the air. Now you can't eat nothing off the ground. Back then, you can drop something, pick it up, and eat it. Back now, you can't do that. That's what I'm saying. Because you can have, for my friend, when he was in Brooklyn, he was a black and white person mixed. He looked straight up like a Latino. Everybody thought he was a Latino because he had curly hair and green eyes. And he said, "I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm black." So it's nothing wrong with that. Some people, if I got something to me, I'll tell you what all my authenticity is. Some people won't do that because some people shame of what happened to their ancestors, so they try to be somebody else. And I heard what those Dominicans say. I'm not saying all Dominicans like that. When I watched this show and this man was interviewing him, he was a black American. And the Dominican girl, she was saying horrible things about Black America. And I said, you still talking about your people, even though they not don't speak Spanish. Y'all was blessed with speaking Spanish of where you come from, and y'all taught it to y'all children. It's like a Native American, he teach the language to his children so it can be passed generation to generation. But that's another story. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to tell y'all what's going on. And my friend, he's from Puerto Rico. He said if you go to some town he named, you will see where the natives used to live, stuff like that. Yeah, some of y'all probably got native in y'all. It could be from South America or something like that. 'Cause they had Arawaks in Jamaica, and when Columbus came there, murdered half the natives there and pushed the rest into, I think, South America. That's where you find Arawaks. 'Cause I met some that come to Fox with a dance with a big powwow that they have, I think, every August, the 28th and 27th. 'Cause man, my son went this year. So that's why I'm trying to spread light and the truth. I get tired of people keep preaching this stuff that they this and that, and they not. I'm just a mere mortal. I can't cast spells or do all this stuff like that. I just try to come with the truth. Some people believe in witchcraft and all that stuff and do bad things. And so when these people talking about they pray to God, what God y'all talking about? And they like I told girl, what make you think we the only people around it? They got portals and other places where people come from that people don't even know about or when they want to get into the conversation because it's too deep. But like I said, that's all I want to say. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. And some Latinos agree with me. One Latino lady said she didn't know what her background was. I said, well, you should check with both sides of your family, and then I wouldn't say something that I wouldn't like. I wouldn't say I'm an Indian, I'm not, and stuff like that. It's like some people are ashamed of their own culture and they take on another identity. That's in the Bible. And you have these hate groups out here that only read from the Old Testament and how they know what God's going to do. God can change his mind because I know people, natives are very spiritual and I've seen things and my wife has seen things. I have talked to angels and I've seen them. And they said a lot of people don't know what the truth is. They only go by that Bible, and a lot of people hide behind that Bible, like some people hide behind that First and Third and Fifth Amendment. What I was telling people about, like sometimes people rights don't be violated, but they do that just to make a quick buck. and some people don't know who they are. If you knew who you are, you wouldn't be picking at me. I've seen other people laugh at me and everything. There's always a person of color that would hate you. And I have got more respect from a European descent person than I have anybody else. And that's kind of bad or sad. People actually hate you. And people look at me when I go places, or me and my wife, they look at us like we are going to kill them or something. Y'all the one come from a foreign country. I don't know what y'all do and stuff like that, but I don't hate nobody. I just go on living my life like a girl said. Do you get high? I said, what you mean high? She, I mean drinking and drugs. I said, no, I get high on life. I get high on listening to stuff about God and stuff like that. When I'm angry, I go sit in the room and put on my soft music. Like you ever heard the CD? You can hear this water running and you hear birds chirping, not twerping, tweeting, stuff like that. So that's all I'm trying to do, share light on people. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I don't want people to get angry with me because I'm not a violent person, and stuff like that. I just try to keep it real. And if somebody told me something, I would accept it. That's why a lot of these pastors, it's not right because um, they supposed to be a man of word. They can't take criticism. They like to knock other people's religion. If their religion is wrong, that's not for me to say. That's for God to say. But these people don't got the book and think that they God Almighty, that they can talk to people all kind of ways. Because like I told my wife, I ain't bowing down to no man. I don't even care if he was the same ethnic person as me. You ain't supposed to bow down to no man or a woman. A woman ain't supposed to bow down to no man, no matter what they say. And it's so, like my wife said, it's so in the Bible. They said a woman can become a pastor if the man is not there. Something my wife should read and tell me out the Bible. People be talking about, well, a woman can't become a pastor. And my wife says in the Bible. Some people just read what they want you to hear. It's like a person, he don't want you to know something, he's not going to tell you the whole truth. That's what people do. When people read the Bible, they just pick chapters that fit their standards, and so they can be justified. That's what people do, and it's not right. So I don't judge them either. I let God looking at everything a person do. Like you kill somebody, you think you're getting away with that. Sometimes it take a long time to catch a murderer, but you can't hide from the Almighty because He see everything. He know every part and crack and cranny that you try to hide on this planet. He know where your butt is at. And sometimes when God get tired of you eluding the cops, He'll fix it for you to get caught. And you say, I covered my tracks. How did I get caught? Because it was your time to get caught. So I hope people like what I said. I'm not trying to offend nobody because I have all types of friends and stuff like that. I'm just telling the truth about the Taino Indians. Though. They're not Taino, they Taino. That's the real word. Somebody that speaks Spanish, I have to find out. I don't know who started saying that word. That's not who they are, and that's an all-man tribe. So when women be saying, I'm Taino, I'm Taino, I'll be saying, no, you're not, because that's a man tribe. It was all men. It wasn't gay or anything like that. That's the culture. They were just an all man tribe, and the women had their tribe and stuff like that. So I hope people like what I said. If you like what I said, comment and share and like. So I have to go now because I'm getting ready to go get a little gas for my car, and I want people to really look into that, and you will see what I'm talking about. So, Canada, Wado, I said take care and have a blessed evening. So goodbye for now. Thank you.